Hello there.
I'm Pickle Rick!
Let's do it, guys!
Right.
It's morphin' time!
Avengers! Assemble.
What's up, guys? We're back here and today with another episode of Geek Culture Talk. Yes, thank you all for coming back here for more of these episodes and stuff. That's kind of weird how I said that. I know, whatever. But yeah, I am doing this episode by myself. I just having Thomas in here. But you'll see him the next time in the next episode, which is, well, not next, but you'll see him again in the episode where we talk about our least favorite video game bosses, which, as in the last Geek Culture Talk episode, that'll be the next episode you would see. But then I have one or two episodes based around like doing my review of Rise of Skywalker / spoiler cast for Rise of Skywalker. So yeah, this is a spoiler cast for Rise of Skywalker. I also need to do a review for The Mandalorian for an episode, and also I need to rank my best and worst movies of 2019 from worst to best, and I want to get those ones out first because so they stay relevant for the most part at least. I mean, it's now January. This came out in, what was it, summer 15th, 20th, something like that. Yeah, so yeah, you want to make these episodes relevant, get them out first so they're so relevant. But yeah, so yeah, today we're doing Rise of Skywalker, so should be fun. Alright, so Rise of Skywalker, also first episode 2020 of Geek Culture Talk, very exciting. And this show started in 2018 and is on this is episode 5. yeah, anyway, so hopefully this comes out actually, and I hope it is out before February at least, because if I said on my first video of 2020 talking about stuff, I saw how like my internet's down, so I can't even upload a video right now. So that kind of sucks, but you have to do that kind of shit, don't you? Anyway, so Rise of Skywalker. So yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to really figure out how to put this one into words. This film. You know, I'll say this at least about this film. It's being divisive online. I mean, more divisive than Last Jedi right now. Not more. Last Jedi still got more divisive. This is still divisive. I don't think it's divisive as Last Jedi. I liked Last Jedi also for just pre knowledge. What was I trying to think of there? I don't know. But Rise of Skywalker, I'll say so. I'll give my quick thoughts on this trilogy actually quickly. So Rise of Skywalker, no. Force Awakens, that one I gave an 8 out of 10. Like, I know it's like a kind of repeat of Force of New Hope, but it's not really a repeat. My friend kind of said it's more like a oh my god, a homage to New Hope in a way, which I agree with, because like not everything in Force Awakens is like New Hope. There are some things that are a little bit different. Not like the protagonists aren't like the protagonists in the last film. There's no Maz Kanata's castle in the original film. There's no The final battle is a little bit different from New Hope also in Force Awakens, so it's not entirely different. Plus, the Force Awakens was my proper entry into Star Wars. I haven't exposed Star Wars before in the past via some action figures, seeing brief parts of the films, and also watching the Clone Wars and Rebels here and then. But yeah, this was my proper exposure to Star Wars, so all that stuff I just mentioned was my exposure to Star Wars, the brief clips, toys, and Clone Wars and Rebels. This is my proper entry into Star Wars, so that it has a special place in my heart because of that, and also I think it's just a pretty good movie. I gave that one an 8 out of 10. Also gave Last Jedi an 8 out of 10 as well. I know there's people who are divisive on that film line, but honestly, if you hate it or like it, it's fine. You can have your own opinion. I really don't care about that big argument anymore. Just think what you think. But I think it was pretty good. I thought it moved the story forward and the universe forward a lot. It was a really solid film. So yeah. Now, Rise of Skywalker. I don't hate Rise of Skywalker. I don't think it's great. I think it's a very fine... I gave Last Jedi an 8 out of 10. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. But yeah, Rise of Skywalker is a... like I said, I didn't hate it. I don't think it's a fantastic movie either. it's like an okay, average okay movie. It's like okay good, I guess. That makes sense. Okay good, like it's fine. Like I gave it a 6 out of 10. It was at a 7 out of 10 at one point, but now it's a 6 out of 10. It's very okay. It's very fine. But I do have quite a few problems with it. So yeah, and I'm also trying to really think where to start with Rise of Skywalker. It's very, I don't know, I really don't know where to start with this film. It's very interesting. So, of course, the plot of Rise of Skywalker is now been a year after Last Jedi, so now the galaxy's kind of, so they're still doing the First Order, resistance against the First Order, but now Palpatine's now back from the dead, and now he's kind of like leading Kylo Ren and stuff, and shenanigans happen, and now the final battle for the galaxy to stop the First Order and Palpatine, for good this time, begins. It's my briefest summary of the film, I guess, so I didn't want to make it too long. But, yeah, so, I really don't know where to start with this film. It's very interesting trying to start with this film. I guess we should start with Palpatine. And so, that was a big reveal when, of course, they announced or showed him heard his voice in the first trailer that was coming back. We were all like, well, what does that mean exactly? And stuff like that. So, and in this film, he's back, of course. They don't explain how he's back, like, not flat out right. Like, later on, the writers, or someone at Disney, or someone working the film later on said that the way he's back is that, like, he is dead, but, like, his essence, his, like, Dark Force essence, is, like, just trying to, using all, no, I'm not phrasing this properly at all, sorry. And so, his essence, like, his, like, essence, like, he's using all his, like, Dark Force, dark side abilities he has left in him to cling on to his dead body, because, of course, Palpatine, if you saw in the film, looked really sickly. His, like, fingers were kind of, like, missing there, like, just blank white eyes. His essence was just clinging on to his dead body, which ties back into what he says in Revenge of the Sith, and also says in this film as well. He repeats it, where he says, the dark side of the Force leads to pathways, as many may consider unnatural. It's not, I don't think it's the exact way he said it, but you know what I mean. That's what he said, basically. So, of course, leads pathways unnatural, and that's what this is. He's using the Dark Force abilities to have his essence cling on to his dead body, which is very unnatural. So, yeah. But of course, they don't explain in this film, and that's a kind of a theme in this film a lot. They don't explain a lot of things in the film, and I'll get to that also. But Palpatine's return. So this one's kind of a very little bit controversial, divisive thing. Palpatine's return, and mostly because a lot of people think that it kind of contradicts the whole ending of the original trilogy, Return of the Jedi, where Anakin turns back to the light and sacrifices himself to stop him from killing his son. So, and everyone thinks now it's contradicting that whole, Anakin's whole storyline that he was the chosen one, he'd bring balance to the Force, which he did. So, many people are thinking that's contradicting now that whole storyline, which, yeah, I can see where you're coming from there. It's a fair point to make. I can see where you're coming from. I don't know, I haven't really made a full decision on what I think about that. I mean, yeah, I definitely can see the point behind that, but, honestly, I don't think, it's contradicting Anakin's arc. Because, how do I probably say this? Because he is dead, though. He's not alive. It's not like he, actually survived, or he jumped into a clone body of himself. He is dead. His body's dead. It's just his essence is now clinging on to his dead body. And now, so, I mean, he is still out there, so you can make an argument, yeah, Anakin did not bring balance to the Force if he was still out there. But, I don't know, I'm kind of fine with it, because, he's technically not alive still. So, you could say Anakin did still bring balance to the Force, because he's not really alive. He's just kind of, just trying to cling on still to his last life. And, because even in the film he said later on, he needs Rey to strike him down so that and with all her anger, so that he can, jump into her body and become Empress Palpatine and become powerful again and, stay alive much longer. So, he's not really alive in the, majority of the film. Or even after Return of the Jedi, so he's not really alive, so I don't really think it's contradicting Anakin's, whole Chosen One arc, and plus even later on in the film, Anakin himself says that it's not, he still brought balance to the Force, or could it be him saying that I did because he's being cool, and yeah, and we'll get to also that part of Anakin also, let's get to it now. Yeah, so, wait, I don't know, I'm sorry, I probably should have a co-host here, because I clearly just bounce off myself really badly. Yeah. But, so, yeah. my god, I'm blanking so badly. It's been a little bit, hasn't it? 'Cause I filmed my last Geek Culture Talk in October, so it's been a little bit. But yeah, so yeah, I don't think Palpatine being back contradicts the arc, Anakin. And I do like him being back. Like, he's especially very creepy in this film, and Ian McDiarmid's always great as Palpatine, and just, you know, I think it made sense to have Palpatine back here, because I mean some people think it's like very lazy. They kind of shoved him in the last minute, which they probably did, but I don't know. I'm fine with it. I think it makes sense because this is a whole saga. All these 3 trilogies, the originals, prequels, and sequels, they're one whole saga. So it makes sense to have this one overarching villain in the whole saga. So it makes sense, I think, to have Palpatine there. Plus, it also makes sense why the First Order is just entirely the Empire, just called something else. Like, really nothing is different about the First Order. Like, they have stormtroopers, they have Imperial officers, they have the same kind of rankings, they have their own Death Star, what was called Starkiller Base. Like, they basically are the Empire. Like, it makes sense that they're so similar because it's so Palpatine controlling them, because also he created Snoke. Like, we found that apparently he created Snoke, he engineered and cloned Snoke, and I think they later on said that Snoke was a whole challenge for Kylo Ren, that he was just there to, like, challenge him to see if he was ready, if he was strong enough for the dark side of the Force, and if he was ready to become, like, Palpatine's apprentice. Oh my god. I think what he said or something like that. I don't know. I'll put it on the screen right now what it was exactly, but or something like that. Like, Snoke was all a challenge for Kylo. So yeah, I think it makes sense to have Palpatine as the villain, overarching villain, because which he has been since Force Awakens, because he's been controlling Snoke. Like, well, they don't really imply that, but you can say he's been controlling Snoke. I think it's pretty obvious. So he's been controlling it since Force Awakens. So yeah, I think it makes sense. I like it. So yeah. And man, I'm just bummed. I bummed my words so badly there. But yeah. So yeah, I like Palpatine being back, and I'll get into the other good things about this film, I think. So a couple of the other good things, and like I do like the characters still. Like I've always liked these characters in this series, this trilogy. I always liked them. I always liked Rey. I always liked Finn. I liked Poe. Like, I like all these characters. I think they're all fun characters. You know, they're like a lot of fun. I'm glad they got to actually be properly together this time in this film, which it didn't really bother me that much in the prior films. Like, well, it kind of Force Awakens, because like it was kind of weird how Poe Dameron was like promoted as one of the new headlining main characters of this saga. Like, he's one of the main members of this saga's trinity of characters. So like he's like part of the trinity with like Finn and Rey, but he was barely in Force Awakens. So that was weird, but I am glad they're all together this time to hang out and like kind of like saving the galaxy together and whatnot. So that was fun, and of course returning characters also come back. Like of course Luke comes back via Force Ghost, but also super long hair, which I don't know why he had like ridiculously long hair. Like I know Mark Hamill filmed a show around the time where he had long hair, but I think that was just extensions. So I don't know why he had long hair. It would look really ridiculous. Of course, Leia comes back with using old footage that was not used in Force Awakens to recreate her. Of course, it did CGI some of her clothes on her, so she's... Yeah, but it's still Carrie Fisher's performance. They're not like using some other actor CGI her face over that actor. It was very sad to see that because, of course, Carrie Fisher is dead in real life, so it's very sad to see her in this film. But it is nice to see her also because this is now her last film, technically. So that was nice. That was awesome. And Lando Calrissian comes back also. He's not in the film that much. I would like to see more of him in the film, but I think he does play a good role enough in the film. He's mostly like part of his role in the film, I think, because they originally wanted Leia to have a bigger role in this film, but of course Carrie Fisher died, so they needed Lando to kind of come in and kind of help fill that void a bit. But I thought they probably still had Lando in some kind of big role, even if Carrie Fisher didn't die originally, before she died. So, but yeah, I still like Lando in the film. I think he did a good job. Billy Dee Williams still has it, and he's like 82 years old, so like, damn, the guy's getting up there in age. But yeah, so yeah, it was cool seeing Lando again, and they also managed to get Harrison Ford back, which I thought was insane because we all know Harrison Ford hates Star Wars. I thought that was so insane that they managed to get him back. I think the reason he came back because of course in the context of why he came back, he was like a memory of Kylo Ren, and of course Leia used her Force ability. She kind of used a similar Force ability like Luke did. I think she used the same ability that he did to kind of reach out to her son and as a last-ditch effort to turn back to the light side, but doing that, she kind of died because of that. So then, because of that, he didn't have this memory of Han, or like I think she created a memory of Han like as an aberration, but using part of his memories as well. It's kind of confusing to explain. I don't really get it myself either how he exactly came back. But he's a memory of Kylo. He's having like Leia, because I think Leia was like kind of with him still in essence in a way. So she kind of created the Han Solo like memory he had. And I think even they said that she did, that they were gonna, in another part of the film they said that they're gonna have a scene that explains that Leia did like create this physical like memory of Han. So I don't know, but still it was super cool seeing Harrison Ford come back as Han Solo, and I'm pretty sure he came back because of course for the Carrie Fisher thing. And he was like, well, we can't have Carrie to seeing that she's gone, so we need you to come back. And he's probably like, wait, sure, absolutely. So like, because he was a friend of Carrie Fisher, so like I'm pretty sure that's why he came back. And to honor her and like help finish up part of the film, and that she can't, sadly. And it was a great scene also, because it parallels like the scene in Force Awakens when he kills Han as well. And also he gets to say his "I know" classic line, and like how Ren turns back to the light side of the Force. It was a really good scene, one of the sound scenes of the film. There's a lot of great action in the film, a lot of great music also, a lot of great stuff like that. And a great scene also of when Rey at the end of the film is just getting her ass beat by Palpatine, and she's losing, she's on the ground basically about to lose. And then she finally connects with all the past Force ghosts, no, not Force ghosts, but she connects with all the Jedi that were live like for this Force ability where she kind of like is with them, like in essentially, I don't know. I'm slurring my words so badly. But yeah, she's like communicating with them, not communicate. Oh my god, what am I saying? Jesus. Good job, me. I am doing a spectacular job. But, yeah. God damn it. Yeah, probably should have co-host. Probably should have co-host more often. But, yeah, so she's like hearing all the voices of the Jedi who are there saying that they're all with her to help her, like, battle Palpatine. They're all with her. They all stand behind her. She's never been alone and stuff like that. And we hear the voice of many past Jedi from the past. We hear, of course, Obi-Wan Kenobi, both played by Ewan McGregor and Alec Guinness. They managed to get Alec Guinness in the film by using an old... the same trick they did for Force Awakens, where they found an audio clip of him from New Hope saying afraid, and they cut out the A and D part and just got the Rey part. So that's how they have him in the film. So yeah, both McGregor and Guinness Kenobi's were in the film. Hayden Christensen came back as Anakin Skywalker, which I thought was really cool. But of course, Christensen has been kind of very distant from the franchise the last couple of years because he got ridiculed a lot because of the prequels. But he has been at a couple of Star Wars celebrations lately, last couple of years, and was also at Galaxy Edge recently. So he's clearly still in love with the franchise and so willing to do stuff. But so yeah, it's good. It's awesome that he did come back. So that was cool. Of course, Yoda was heard, Qui-Gon Jinn, and Mace Windu, and of course Luke Skywalker. That was all pretty cool. But then there were some TV characters in there as well. So there of course there were some characters that first appeared in the prequels, but they were like there was Master Luminar Undie, Aayla Secure, and Adigalia, and they were voiced by their respective voice actors from the Clone Wars TV show. But even though they appeared in the prequel films, those three characters originally, I think Luminar Undie, she appeared in Phantom Menace and Attack the Clones. I know Attack the Clones for sure. Aayla Secure appeared in Revenge of the Sith, maybe Attack the Clones also. And Adigalia was in, I think, both Phantom Menace and Attack the Clones. So yeah. But of course, they were in the film, voiced by their Clone Wars actors. And so were also Ahsoka Tano and Kanan Jarrus from the Clone Wars and Rebels, both voiced by Ashley Eckstein and Freddie Prinze Jr. respectively. Which I thought that was super cool. It's nice that they've gotten in like these two major characters from those two TV shows to show, yeah, these TV shows, they are connected, like everything does connect, which I thought was super cool. It does confirm sadly though that Ahsoka is, that she does die someone after the last point we saw on the timeline, which was 5 years after Return of the Jedi. So she was around during the original trilogy. We don't know what she was doing. We last saw her in the last episode of Rebels, where she was in the prologue scene of Rebels, which took place about like at least 5 years or so after Return of the Jedi. And she and Sabine, she went to go pick up Sabine so they could go off and traverse the Outer Rim to find Ezra, because he vanished after the events of Rebels, the finale, and when they were trying to stop Thrawn. So as someone after that, in between then and The Force Awakens, probably she dies. And there are reports that they're doing a sequel series of Rebels, so we might find out in that show how she died. So yeah, which does suck that she is dead. So is a badass character, but it's cool that they got her in and Kane. I thought that was a really cool scene. What I didn't understand though is that why is Leia's voice not in the scene? Because Luke has the line in that scene that says, "The Force will be with you always." In the trailer, Leia said "always." I'm not sure why Luke didn't say it, why Luke said it. Like what was the big deal of not having Leia say it? Like, that would have been so cool hearing Leia's voice along with all those other famous Jedi. Like, that would have been super cool, but they didn't have it for some reason. I don't know why. It was pretty weird. I don't know why. And that scene is also a good example of missed opportunities that were in this film, and there's a lot of missed opportunities in this film overall. Like, a lot of missed opportunities. So, and this is an underlying problem I have with J.J. Abrams in this film, directing it. And basically what I thought was a missed opportunity with that scene with the Jedi is that, well, there was a cool opportunity. Like, I know not every Jedi can do a Force Ghost, and only certain Jedi learn those abilities. Like, we know for sure Luke can do a Force Ghost, Obi-Wan, Anakin, Yoda, Leia, and also, I think Qui-Gon? Yeah, I think Qui-Gon can do it. Like, in the Clone Wars, they say that he was like in the middle of his training to become a Force Ghost when he died and couldn't complete his training. But I think he did afterwards, apparently. I heard it somewhere. I don't know. Like, I don't know exactly if he's a Force Ghost. I would check right now, but like, don't have Wi-Fi. So I'll just add in the video as well. But yeah, the other characters, like, maybe Ahsoka can do a Force Ghost. I don't know. I assume she met Luke some point after Return of the Jedi. So maybe she can do a Force Ghost. I don't know. Mace Windu definitely can't. Kanan Jarrus can't. Although he can, like, kind of, like, bring his spirits back in a weird way. Like, in Rebels, he managed to bring his spirit back in a wolf body, in this, like, wolf spirit, because they were like these, like, wolf creatures on the Thal that have a connection to the Force. It was a very weird thing. It's hard to really explain. But he can't do a Force Ghost. Neither can Adi Gallia, or Aayla Secure, or Luminara D. And so, yeah. So, yeah, they couldn't do Force Ghost scene, I know that. I mean, they could have done some of them, but they couldn't do an actual Force Ghost scene. What I wanted them to do was that make it more a mindscape thing, where, like, Rey goes into her mind and has this, like, vision where all the Jedi voices speak to her, but, like, manifest, like, bodies in her mind and stuff, and, like, they're all there. And see all these Jedi, and, like, you could have thrown some other Jedi also there. You could have thrown, like Plo Koon, Kit Fisto, Ki-Adi Eve Koth, just anyone real. Like, could have thrown, like, some other Jedi there. Or, like, maybe Yaddle? That would have been insane to see Yaddle. If she's still alive, I don't know. That would have been cool, and I wanted that scene. If they did that, I would have wanted to, of course, have them all there. They all show up, and of course, we could have even had like Ahsoka, live action Kanan, and live action Ahsoka meets like Anakin, which Hayden Christensen Anakin, which that would have been super sick. That would have been amazing, and we would have had also Luke Skywalker be on screen with his father, proper Anakin Skywalker. Not Darth Vader Anakin Skywalker for the first time. And that'd be also super sick. Which I know he did become the Anakin Skywalker again at the end of Return of the Jedi, but he was still in Darth Vader armor. I'm talking like proper Anakin Skywalker, not looking like a Sith Lord and stuff, whatever. And what I wanted in that scene, I wanted like that to happen where they're all in this mindscape thing, and like Leia also to be there, and they can all say those exact same things, but not in the exact same fashion that they did in this scene. Like, say those things, but also add a couple other things in the scene as well, maybe. And like in the scene when she starts getting up, I would have loved it if this is my interpretation of the scene. If when Rey gets up to start the battle Palpatine again, in the mindscape you see Luke and Leia put their hands on Luke, or Luke may put both his hands. No, yeah, Luke can put both his hands. No, Jesus, I don't know. Luke and Leia put both their hands on Rey's shoulders, and then Anakin puts his hands on their shoulders, and Obi-Wan on Anakin's shoulder, and Ahsoka on her other shoulder, Qui-Gon on Obi-Wan's shoulder, Ahsoka on Anakin's shoulder, and like so on and so forth. They're all like just doing this. They're all kind of like giving their power to her, or like just kind of because she says I'm all the Jedi and stuff, so she has like all this power and stuff. And that would have been a really cool scene, I think, having them like all of them there spiritually in her head like that. Seeing them all. That you can't admit that'd be a really cool seeing them all like giving her power like that. That would have been so sick. But of course, that didn't happen. Although I think it did, maybe because there's a video out there of Kevin Smith talking about how he was by the Rise of Skywalker set one day, and J.J. Abrams offered him to come in to see the set if he wants. He was like, sure. But then someone told him, don't go in there because we're filming the final scene of the movie and you don't want to see it because it's going to be crazy. I interpret that as they managed to get, like, all these Jedi actors in there, like, snuck them all on set into the building, and they're all there in costume, and he doesn't want them to see that in case it leaks. I don't know, but they don't know. There are reports that Ewan McGregor, Hayden Christensen, and Samuel L. Jackson were there on set, but I don't really know. So, yeah. And that's one of the things with J.J. Abrams. There's a lot of missed opportunities J.J. takes in this film. So, I made a video actually back a while ago when J.J. was first announced to be coming back to do Rise of Skywalker. I said, I'm excited for this because I like Force Awakens, and I know the film's safe in J.J.'s hands. It's clearly not, because here's the problem. Because J.J. directed The Force Awakens. He did not direct Last Jedi. Rian Johnson did. So, he's going to this film, the third film, the final film of this trilogy, and it's kind of a mess, because, like I said, I liked Last Jedi, but the problem is now you have one director who directed the first and last film, and one guy directed the middle film. That's not coherent film. I mean, like, there have been some films, trilogies that have had two directors make them, like, Jon Favreau directed the first two Iron Man, but then Shane Black directed Iron Man 3. That's different. That's not like Jon Favreau did Iron Man 1, then Shane Black did Iron Man 2, then Jon Favreau 3. And, it was like Jon Favreau did the first two, then Shane Black did the 3. That's fine like that, but this is a little more confusing a little bit. And proved to be, like, not a good idea bringing JJ back because of that, because then he started trying to make a sequel to Force Awakens, even though there was, which was Last Jedi, because he started trying to start flowing his ideas from that film again, which really did not work, because then he started contradicting The Last Jedi heavily in this film, and even Force Awakens a little bit too, actually, which is ironic, which, people who didn't like Last Jedi, like, you have to admit, like, it's a little bit ridiculous that they actually are really trying to, like, he's trying to really, like, leapfrog over a prior film, like, you can't just ignore massive stuff that happened in that film, because now they're changing shit, like, of course, they said now, and, like, in Last Jedi, they said, Rey's nobody, like, Rey's parents are nobodies, which I thought that was a great idea, because, like, you don't have to have your parents be, like, you don't have to be related to any famous characters to, like, matter, which I thought that was a nice change of pace, because that's always been a thing in films like these, like, like, Luke Skywalker, that was fine, like, because that was the first time because that was the first Star Wars film, but, like, I like that they did that, like, you don't have to be related to someone, like, well-known or, like, a big deal like that to be relevant or like, be important. But Jada said, nah, let's make her Palpatine's granddaughter. Oh, joy! She's a Palpatine. Like, what the hell? Out of all the choices that JJ could have made, that's the one he chose. And that is stupid as shit. Oh my god. It could have been worse. He could have made her his clone daughter. Like, his female clone. That would have been really stupid. But it's still stupid, because now it contradicts several things. First of all, they said that Luke and Leia knew she was Palpatine's granddaughter. When did they learn this? Nowhere in the prior two films did they establish they know who she is. Luke flat out asked, like, Rey in Last Jedi who she was. He had no idea she came from the planet Jakku. She was talking to her like he had no idea who she was. Like, he had no idea who she was. Like, it made no sense. And then there's also other problems now, like, you know that scene in Last Jedi where she's on the island with Luke and she goes in that place where there's like thousands of her in a row, and she goes up to this, like, kind of window thing, and it will show who she really is, or, like, show her, like, family and stuff. You know what scene I'm talking about? So, like, you know that scene where, like, she puts her hand on that window thing and then she sees herself? If she's a Palpatine, wouldn't she have seen Palpatine in that reflection then? Like that was supposed to show, like, her past and who she was. Wouldn't she show Palpatine, not just her? It's so annoying. And also they've said there's no feud between JJ and Rian Johnson. I read an article recently about the writers saying there was no feud between them, which probably wasn't. But, like, I don't get, like, look, JJ, I know he was partial to his story, but the thing is, here's the thing about JJ. Like, he made Force Awakens and then left. He wanted to let other people direct the film, but he clearly had his own ideas about how the story's going to go. If he had his own ideas, why did he just leave in the middle after the first film, let someone else do it, then decide to come back for the last film, and then think he can just keep continuing his ideas? Like, if you wanted to do these ideas, you shouldn't have left after the first one. like, plain simple. Like, that's all I can tell you, JJ. Like, I don't... Like, my friend describes JJ, he's gonna, like, he's a director who plays things way too safe and, like, repeats stuff. Which worked for Force Awakens, definitely, because, like, that's a film you want to play it safe, because it's the first Star Wars film in almost 10 years. And the first film, and it's bringing back, like, Han Solo, Leia, and Luke, and it's continuing the storylines from the Jedi instead of, like, retelling a storyline from the past. So, like, it's a big deal. And, like I said, I liked The Force Awakens. I think it worked. That film worked. I think it was a great film. But in this film, there's a lot of repeating about some stuff, a lot of repeating. Like, Last Jedi, Ryan Johnson made a big point saying, let the past die, kill it if you have to. He was trying to tell us, let's stop running around in a circle, let's move out the circle. Because, yeah, respect the past, but let's not keep retelling the same shit. But then Disney and JJ were like, nah. So, like, now we're telling just, we have a bunch of fan servicey moments, and just stupid story decisions that come off Force Awakens that don't make sense at all. It's really kind of a mess a little bit. It's, oh my god, I don't know. I don't know how. It's remarkable, honestly. Just, I'm trying to think what else. Like, because the final battle with Rey and Ben and Palpatine, like, it's very much similar to Return of the Jedi. There's Force Rey, who in this case is Luke, in the Emperor's throne room, just like the Emperor's throne room in Death Star. And there's a big space battle going outside at that point also, like Return of the Jedi. Like, it's just, like, there's not a lot of big repeat in this film, like there wasn't, like doing similar things to prior films, but, it's just, I don't know, JJ, like, cause I don't know. There's so many other problems with, like, also, like, Hux has the weirdest arc in this whole trilogy. You know what? Like, Force Awakens, he's like this super, like, proud, like loyalist to the First Order. Second film, and he's like a professional and stuff. Last Jedi, he's then, like, getting his ass whooped around by every Force user, which I thought was funny, but now in this film, he's like a traitor. He's a spy. Okay. I didn't care for Hux, and I don't care that they wasted his character, but still, he had the weirdest arc in this trilogy. Like, just the weirdest. Like, loyalist, gets his ass whipped a lot, traitor, and dies. Like, it's something, alright. It's very much something. And also, Rose Tico is literally not in the film for, like, not even in the film for a minute, apparently? Like, she's not even in there for a minute, apparently. I think it's, like, 90 seconds she's in the film, which, a minute. No, that's not in a minute. I don't know. I'm messing up something there, aren't I? I definitely did. But she's not in the film that much at all. Which they said that a lot of her scenes revolved around Leia, but because of the limited footage, they can't do that. You could have given her a role, though. Like, some kind of role. Like, here's the thing. Rose was definitely the Lando of this trilogy. Like, she's not like the character Lando. She's not, like, similar to his, like, character traits or anything. But she is that Lando character. Because, like, the original trilogy's main trio in the first film were Luke, Han, Leia, Chewbacca, R2-D2, and C-3PO, and Obi-Wan, but he died immediately. But like the main the main group of characters, like heroes, were Luke, Han, Leia, Chewbacca, C-3PO, and R2-D2. And then second film, Lando joined them, and then he became a main member of that crew. And that was this film series. So they had Rey, Finn, Poe, and BB-8. They were the new main hero characters of this trilogy. Then Rose joined them and became a central character in that film and became their Lando. She joined the second film and now is part of the crew. Clearly not, because she does jack shit. And look, I didn't hate Rose in Last Jedi. I thought she was just kind of there. Like, I didn't hate her like some other people did. Like, some people were like insane, bullying her online. Like, that was not nice. I just wanted to be there. I just need more of her character to give a full opinion on. And she's just sidelined the entire movie, which, I don't know. It was really stupid that. Another thing that was also stupid is that I hate that Rey and Kylo Ren kiss, or Rey and Ben kiss, because I didn't think that was the relationship they had. Apparently, a lot of people thought that too. They had a more brotherly sister relationship. Like, I didn't think that was. I didn't like that. Like, I think Finn and Rey made more sense because it was heavily hinted at in both films. It was clearly implied they both really care for each other a lot, which I'm like, they're going to get together. And they don't. So, I don't know, I didn't like it. I mean, also, Kylo Ren died. Just died. Like, which, I don't know, I don't feel like I don't think he should have died. Like, I don't know, it doesn't feel like right for his arc to die. I don't know, it's kind of weird. What else? There's so many things. The final battle of that film also is missed opportunities there as well, because Lando comes in with all these ships to help them out in stopping the First Order, and numerous ships were in there from stuff like the Mon Calamari ships. There were some ships from Naboo in there. There was even like cameo ships from like the Ghost ship from Rebels and the Razor Crest from Mandalorian. Now I don't think the Mandalorian was actually in the film, but someone from Rebels was definitely in there, which major missed opportunity. You could have had like, cause and the Rebels, we found that Hera and Kanan had a kid together named Jason Sandula, and he probably was piloting that ship by this point. He would have been old enough by this point now to be piloting the ship. And maybe Hera could have been on it too, maybe Chopper, maybe even Zeb. Or no, you could have had maybe Zeb and Callus with like some Lasat ships. Like after all these years, they found a lot more Lasats, and now they brought an army fleet of Lasats to help out as well. Like the cool cameos there you could have had in Rebels, but wasted potential. You could have had Mon Mothma, like where's she been? You could have had her cameo, that would have been pretty cool. You could have had, if maybe depending on the age of how clones age exactly, you could have had maybe Rex and Wolf cameo, because they were presumably still alive after Return of the Jedi. You could have had them there to cameo, like just possibilities of cameos you could have had there, but all we did was Wedge, which nothing against Wedge, but it was just Wedge, like that was it. And another thing I found was one thing I actually did like in this film was the progression of the new Force abilities. Like there was Force healing, which we saw in The Mandalorian prior to this film, which I liked. They're still establishing. I also like that it's not like just an OP thing. Like I have Force healing. It's like it's part of your drain part of your own life energy to do that. So which like that means that's why you can't. It's like I think it's an old ancient kind of ability. That's why they can't do it a lot. That's why I like that. I also like the new expansion on the connection that Kai and Kylo Ren and Rey have, where like they can kind of see each other in the Force, but now they can almost kind of physically fight them even not in the same room. They even can transport objects to them. I think it's a really cool ability. I think it's only specific to them, certain Jedi or Force users who have a really strong connection like that. So I think that's why you haven't seen it before. So I think they've explained that stuff well. It made sense. But yeah. And Ben Solo shouldn't have died. I don't know. The more I thought about it, I was like, why did he die? It didn't really make much sense to his character arc to die. So, I don't know. And why was he not in the final shot of the film with Luke and Leia as Force Ghosts? Wouldn't it make sense to have him there with show Rey? I don't know. I don't get it. And it's another problem with this film is that there's no consequences in this film. No major consequence. Leia died. That's tragic. And we also got to see her train. We found that Leia was Luke's first apprentice. Padawan. Not Padawan, you know what I mean. She was his first student she took in, trained her. She got to build her own lightsaber and stuff. And we saw this scene where they did a de-age Luke Skywalker and he looked amazing. But then de-age Carrie Fisher did not look amazing. It looked pretty bad. It looked like PS3 graphics, honestly. Mostly the eyes. You could tell in the eyes that it wasn't real. Which they recently revealed that Billy Lord, her daughter, who's in the film, mocapped her for that scene, which that's nice. But the CGI did not look great. People complain about the CGI for Leia in Rogue One. I thought that looked good, better than Tarkin, definitely. That looked terrible, Tarkin, God. But this looks pretty bad in this film. It was not great looking. I was super excited to see this scene. Oh my God, yeah, I called it. I knew there was gonna be some kind of scene where we're gonna show a flashback and be a DA's character. And Luke looked awesome, but then Leia looked like crap. I don't know. I know it's because they didn't have probably because they didn't have Carrie Fisher's proper reference there. I mean, it definitely wasn't Mark Hamill in that scene, but they did have his reference, so that's why they could do it. I don't know why. It looked weird. But yeah, go back to what I said. There's no real consequence in the film besides Leia. I mean, Ben also dies too, but C-3PO, in the trailer they hinted heavily that he's gonna die, and I'm like, oh my God, C-3PO, the character we've seen in every film, and in every other property in canon. We've seen him in Clone Wars, Rebels, friggin' everything. He's everywhere, and he's gonna die. That's gonna suck. And he doesn't. They just kind of just wipe his mind, and then he's kind of fine again. And then R2 then restores his lost memories that they wiped from. And because the whole thing is that he had that he had these special, like, he could read the Sith Wayfinder on him. No, he could read this blade they needed that had directions and coordinates and stuff. And they needed the information from his head because he can read Sith writing, but it's against his protocol to read it. So the only way to do that, they had to kind of wipe his memory to allow him to do that. But then he got him a blank slate, but then R2 fixed him afterwards and restored memory, which, like, to be fair, that R2 restoring memory actually led to a pretty funny scene in the film, and 3PO actually had a lot of funny scenes in the movie, which that was awesome. But, like, no consequences. Like, seriously, I don't get no consequence to that scene. Like, why? Like, seriously, like, I thought, another missed opportunity, actually, is that, why did you not take that chance, like, to actually even restore 3PO's wiped memories from the prequels? Like, we knew he got his memories wiped after Revenge of the Sith. Could have been an awesome thing to actually, like, when they were messing with his head, he regains those memories too. Or, like, R2 gives him back those memories as well by accident. Now he has all the memories, like he remembers Anakin built him and then he became Darth Vader, and he remembers, like, the Clone Wars. He was there. He remembers Padme and everything. Like, that would have been really cool to see that. Like, but they didn't, so it's really... Another thing also that was really dumb. Chewbacca and his medal, like, oh my god. Which, they made a comic 2 years ago, I think, it came out, about Chewbacca. It was a Chewbacca mini-series, about 5 issues long. In that comic, they said he got his medal in that comic. But in this film, as fan service, Maz Kanata says, Leia wanted you to have this. Why did she never give it to him before? Like, why did she wait till she dies to give it to him? So, like, I don't want to show respect to you, so I'm just gonna wait till I die to give it to you. Like what? We didn't need that scene either. I'm sorry, my throat is almost dead. Like, we didn't need that scene either. I don't get why it was there. Like, so it was just kind of like, it was really fan servicey. Like, we didn't need that. Like, seriously, it was so random in the film. I don't know. I think I thought of everything I possibly could with this film. Yeah, I probably did. Yeah, I can't really think of any. I think I covered everything I possibly could. Yeah, I think I did. The final battle is nice. It's really cool, but it's not exactly what I wanted. Rey has a new lightsaber. It's a yellow lightsaber, that's pretty cool. That means, like, which yellow means, like, you're more kind of like central. Not, what's the word I'm looking for? Or something. I'll put in the video as well because I don't remember what it's called. But yeah, and also she takes the name of Skywalker, which really ruins also the thing about legacy not mattering. Like, it doesn't matter what your legacy is as long as you make those decisions yourself. Which they could have just left it as Rey. She could have even used Palpatine as well because, like, legacy doesn't matter. She could, like, actually use that name for good for once. But no, she's Skywalker, which I actually saw a funny thing my friend sent me. He said that the Phantom Menace and Rise of Skywalker should really switch their titles around because Episode 1 really should be called The Rise of Skywalker, and this should really be called The Phantom Menace, which is true. Because who's the Phantom Menace in Episode 1? We don't know who the Phantom Menace is. I can't believe how much that makes sense. Those titles need to switch. Oh my god, that's ridiculous. It's funny, but ridiculous. But, yeah, what else? I don't know. What else did JJ do that disappointed me a lot? I don't know. He probably did a lot of things. So, overall, really, what's my thoughts on the film? I don't hate it. I think it's perfectly fine. It's serviceable. It's a nice enough ending to the trilogy. It's a very disappointing film for me, of all the missed opportunities and all the retcons. They make massive retcons. Like, I don't know why the Lucasfilm story group allowed that, because there's a team at Lucasfilm whose sole job is to monitor all Star Wars stuff to make sure that there's no continuity errors or to make sure that the canon makes sense in it. Like, what were they doing? I heard they weren't involved in this film. I don't know why. Maybe that's not true. I don't know. But, like, I don't know how they couldn't have, because there's no way they would have let massive retcons and inconsistency like that in this film. Excuse me. So yeah, overall, like I said, it's a perfectly fine movie. It's it's a good enough ending to the Star Wars series saga. I mean, like, oh yeah, also new characters in the film. I almost forgot about that. Jana and what was her name? Zuri, Zari. Was it? I think it was Zari. Was it Zari? Or I think it was something. Zeri, something like that. You know what I mean? To kind of pointless characters. I mean, they'll probably explore them in comic books later on. Oh yeah, and Jana's supposed to be Lando's kid, which actually one thing about that. Which I kind of like that because they established that Lando actually, after the war ended, he decided I want to start a family and stuff. Settle down, and then apparently the First Order took his kid when she was very young, like they did with Finn. And she rebelled from the First Order and became one of her own, and she's no longer a stormtrooper, which I thought that's nice. I like that. Same time I'm conflicted on that because I'm like, well, we already have a couple people in this film arc. Like, why do they have so many characters have kids related, like people related to them that are kids? Like, we already have Leia and Han's kid, and it's like, I mean, okay, to be fair, it's not a lot, but still, like, yeah. I mean, it's probably not needed to do his kid, but I don't know. I kind of like it because, like, Lando started out as this character who was very much like just a gambler, or a ladies man and stuff like that. But now, and then he became this kind of like a respected general, and like, and then became. I liked that he actually went and started a family. I thought that was like a nice continuation of his character. I thought that was like, you know what, good for him. I like that. I like that he started a family and stuff. And they cut the scenes out of the film that reveal she's his daughter, which then leads to this very awkward scene in the film where when Lando meets Johnny, he's like, "Who are you?" And she's like, "Hey, where are you from?" And he's like, "I don't know." He's like, "You want to file together?" And she's like, "All right." Like, just that seems very weird, not knowing that she's his daughter. But, yeah, I don't know. And so yeah, I do want to see more of Zari and John in a comic book maybe, or they maybe even get their own spin-off show. Like they decided to give Lando and her their own spin-off. Lando and Jana their own spin-off show. Maybe Poe and Zari their own spin-off show because Poe and her had history together. So, I don't know. I'd love to see more of their characters to get more in depth in them. But, yeah, like I said, overall, perfectly fine movie. I think it's a good enough ending. Not the ending I wanted. It's not that satisfying ending like Endgame was. But it was a fine enough ending, I guess. Not my least favorite film in the Star Wars series. It's not my favorite one. It's definitely, like I said, it's fine. It's not my worst, my least favorite Star Wars film of all time. It's definitely Attack of the Clones. It's the Holiday Special. The Holiday Special is pretty bad, but we don't count that as a thing that exists, so Attack of the Clones is really the worst one. But, yeah, perfectly fine. I'll watch it again at some points, maybe I'll find more problems, but I don't know. It's not, I'm fine with it. So, yeah. Thank you all for watching. Tell me in the comments down below what you thought of Rise of Skywalker, and stay tuned for my other Geek Culture episode about The Mandalorian as well. So, yeah, can't think of anything else. But yeah, overall, I like a lot of stuff. Love the characters. A lot of good action sequences. Love the Jedi scene, but it could have been more. Like, I could have loved the Han scene. That was great. Leia, I think they did a fantastic job of putting this old footage of Carrie Fisher into this film. I thought it was pretty good. There's a lot of cool scenes in this film. It's good music. A lot of very funny moments, but, you know, left a lot to be desired. I hate the retcons that make The Last Jedi in the film. And also in Force Awakens, it makes no sense. Like, how do they know she was a Palpatine? Like, it's very cheesy dialogue. Like, Palpatine has some cheesy dialogue, like, "Impress Palpatine," which people complain about, but he always had cheesy dialogue. Like, he had stuff like, "Do it!" And like, "Unlimited power!" Like he's the most cheesiest over-the-top. Like, he's a very cunning, he's a great villain, he's very cunning and genius, but he's also over-the-top and goofy. Like, he's the most over-the-top villain in terms of dialogue in the whole Star Wars universe. Like, come on. Like, he is. So, yeah. So, I also, Impress Palpatine is, like, very funny of a line. Like, "Impress Palpatine." Like, it's freaking hilarious, that line. But, yeah. I think I've said everything now. I hope. But, yeah. So yeah, overall, like I said, perfectly fine movie. Like I said, liked all the characters, great action sequence, music. I'm sorry, I'm repeating myself. Sorry, but yeah, like I said, disappointed in the missed opportunities and retconning Last Jedi. Some cheesy dialogue, again, just stuff story things I did not agree with. But love the characters, great music, great action sequences, and great moments. But some moments could have been more it's a fine movie, but with a lot of missed opportunities, basically. So yeah, it basically was a film that was made to kind of try to please all Star Wars fans, but it kind of did that with some sort of not really. It's kind of hard to say if it really did its job well to please all Star Wars fans. The future of Star Wars is going many places soon, so we're going to, of course, have the Clone Wars Season 7 soon, and then, of course, the Obi-Wan series, the Cassian Andor series. We're going to get some more video games at some point. It's like, reportedly bringing a sequel to Jedi Fallen Order. There will be more Star Wars comics. There will be a new Star Wars series of films come out in 2022, 24, and 26, which will probably be set 400 years before Phantom Menace. So, future of Star Wars is looking pretty good. So, I'm still very excited for the future of Star Wars. So, yeah. But, yeah. That's it from my review of this film. Tell me in the comments down below what you thought of this film, if you liked it, if you hated it, if you thought it was just kind of, yeah, this is fine. So, yeah. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next T-Talk Shock scene coming away, which should be Mandalorian, hopefully. Yeah. So, yeah. Bye. Alright, my throat is dead now. I cannot talk.